In many ways, the gospel I just read seems all too relevant to the present moment. It's almost like the more things change, the more they stay the same. Disciples were locked in a room for fear. And they were stuck. All they had was themselves and their failure. Just a couple days prior, all but John had deserted Jesus. And everything that they would have been hoping for, everything that they would have been longing for, the desires that were present in their heart, which Jesus was drawing out of them, seemed to be totally crushed. And they were probably dejected, defeated, discouraged, depressed. In other words, they were a lot like me. Like, I don't know about you, but these last weeks have been really hard. Like, on top of COVID, everybody knows what's on the news, and it's not distant. It's like right in our backyard. Father Bodine and I drove to Sioux Falls, South Dakota on Friday, and we could see smoke from 35. We've had a lot of fear. There's so much fear. And what can save us from that fear? Who can save us from that fear? Jesus, risen from the dead. He comes, and it's almost like they didn't even abandon him. The first words out of Jesus' mouth weren't pointing a finger, weren't shaming them, weren't throwing their failure right in their face. It was peace. Peace be with you. And then he showed them his hands and his side, his wounds. Like, I was thinking about this today. Like, all of us are wounded. All you have to do is go through ankle surgery and then talk with anyone. And then all of a sudden, they start telling you about all their surgeries. It's awesome. Like, I went to an ordination today at the cathedral, and after the ordination, I'm talking to this guy, and then all of a sudden he starts showing me his wounds. Like his finger's like way out of whack, he just had his tonsils out, all this stuff. All of us are carrying a wound, maybe a physical wound. I've just had so much more realization about everyone who's enduring chronic pain. Like, if you're enduring chronic pain or you've experienced chronic pain in your life, I just want to tell you, you are heroic. You are heroic and really inspiring. Because, I'm a big baby. The littlest things go wrong with me. And then, people have opened up, and, one person has shared how many surgeries they had, and I'm just like, whoa. So I just want to say, if you're carrying that, man, Jesus sees you. Some of us are carrying emotional wounds, past relationships, hardships, whatever. loss, spiritual wounds. And what's so incredible about Christianity, God himself was wounded. God was wounded out of love. And he doesn't throw it in our face. He says, see this? See this? I love you. Then he says to them again, peace be with you. I don't know about you, hope I'm not oversharing here. I've really struggled with violent thoughts. Like, how do I even respond to this situation going on in Minneapolis and St. Paul? And the thing that helped me today, like I was making lunch, and I started to pray the prayer of St. Francis. Lord, make me an instrument of thy peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. What can overcome hatred, violence, anger, pain? God. We don't respond to violence with violence. Otherwise, that too needs to be responded to. We overcome evil with good. We overcome war with peace. And we all are in need. We are in need of the Holy Spirit. And so here we are today, asking God for another Pentecost. Asking God to send the Holy Spirit upon his church, upon his people, so deeply in need. And we need forgiveness. So here we are, afraid, wounded, struggling, but we're at Mass, a place of peace, a place where you get to meet Jesus, a place where, please God, you get to receive the Eucharist again. Just ask that in your hearts you would desire that peace and to be an instrument of peace in our communities. Lord, send forth your Spirit and renew the face of the earth. When the doors were locked where the disciples were for fear of the Jews, Jesus came and stood in their midst and said to them, peace be with you.